Hi, I'm Michael Sipe, owner of Sipe Coaching and Consulting, and I am the Chief Operating Officer of the Strategic Advisor Board. And on today's Empowered Leadership segment, I'm going to talk about why we have to learn to delegate well as a business owner, and specifically maybe a CEO. So probably the most obvious reason we need to learn to delegate well is time. We have a finite amount of time during the day to devote to our business. I think that's pretty obvious. But one of the things that we aren't always aware of is creep, time commitment creep. We have increasing responsibilities. And when we're involved in the startup phase of a new business, yes, we have to devote a lot of time to that in growing the business and getting it up and going. But as time moves on, we develop expertise. Even as a manager, we develop expertise. And so with success, with that expertise comes additional work, meaning sometimes we get more customers, or sometimes we get people looking for more advice. And what that does is it sucks up that time we have to be able to actually do our job of managing. So obviously, time plays a critical role, but we aren't always aware of how those responsibilities, the expertise, and the growing of a company in size will actually take up more and more time. And so it's a key reason why we need to learn to be able to delegate well, is realizing that our time is going to be very finite and limited and seem to be even less and less. Another critical reason, obviously, is if we're spending a lot of time in the business and staying long hours, we're going to burn out. Yeah, we can surge for a while. Yeah, we can have moments, periods of time, like the fall holiday season where things are pretty slammed. But those are only phases. But with a growing business, well, trying to push the entire time, we're just going to burn out. We're going to break our body down. And that's just not good. So that's not good for our health, right? So that's another aspect of why we need to delegate. All right. Now, if we also have a lot of expertise, sometimes we develop a false sense of ownership, meaning like maybe a little too much importance. And so we feel like we have to do certain things because we're the only one that knows about it. Well, that isn't always the case. But typically there are other people that know how to do it. They may not do it the way we want to do it, but they might know how to do it. And so when we take on that false sense of ownership, typically we take on more tasks that we really don't need to. All right, so to delegate, let's talk about how we might do that. So first is when we delegate, we have to start with the reasons why we are delegating. So let's say that it's something that we can offload to an assistant, or we can offload to a colleague who's maybe new on the job and their book isn't quite as large as ours. Or maybe we have somebody who's a general manager for us and we just have gotten them to a certain level where they can probably take on some more responsibility. Well, we have to start with explaining the reasons why we are delegating, meaning we are explaining the goals or what we expect them to achieve. Okay, next thing is to engage at the right level, meaning know of that task, who it's going to get assigned to. Why are they the ones that are best fitting for that particular assignment? And is it the right amount for them? Okay. And then at the Strategic Advisor Board, we talk all the time about CEOs need to be focused on their vision and seeing the overall execution of the company. But quite often, they need to learn to delegate. And that's not something they do very well when they have been in the startup mode where they've done it all themselves, maybe a solopreneur. Now they need to learn to offload a lot more of that, whether it's a virtual assistant or hiring a general manager or hiring a fractional chief marketing officer. There are various reasons why we need to offload so that we can focus on running the company and seeing the grander vision and where the company needs to go. So there's some tips on why we have to learn to delegate well. Hope you enjoyed it.